Okay, you guys, today we're doing Shark Attack. I'm gonna call them Snack Attack, actually. Drawings, okay? It's gonna be a really cool shark with a mouth that opens, all right? So what we're gonna do first is you're gonna get a blank piece of paper and we're gonna fold it in half like this. Okay, fold it in half like this. And then you're gonna leave it folded and you're gonna take one of the top edges and fold them back down till the edges meet. Does not have to be perfect. Okay, we could technically leave it here, okay? Because we just need it to open like this. But then you don't know where your top line is, okay? So that way, because this is gonna be one of those folding surprise things. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip it and we're gonna fold this back. If you need help folding for whatever reason, we're gonna pause it here and walk around and make sure everyone has it folded. And then we're also gonna make sure everyone has it oriented the right way to draw. So we're gonna check on everyone individually because we want the thin or the single piece of paper to be here and then the folded area to be here so that when we open, it opens down. Okay, if we had it flipped, when we glue it down, it's gonna open upwards, okay? And all your stuff will be upside down. So we're gonna come around and check, make sure everyone has theirs folded right, and then we're also going to make sure that you have the right parts up, okay? All right. Okay, now that we've checked on that, we're gonna draw our teeth. Now our teeth are gonna fill these sections because the inside part, this part is for our snacks and we don't want those to show. When we look at it, we want it to first just show teeth, okay? So I'm gonna draw just a little outline around and that's gonna be for like the shape of my mouth. You don't have to do that. I'll do that. And I'm drawing in Sharpie, but you're gonna draw in pencil. That way if you make a mistake, you can erase it, okay? And then I'm gonna do big teeth up top. Okay, and then I'm gonna do big teeth on bottom. They don't have to match, they don't have to be perfect, but we do want them to fill these sections, okay? And when we color, these will be white, right? And then we'll color this section in, okay? So now, when you open it, you have your teeth, okay? And then in here, we can do snacks. Now, if you want your shark to be eating marine life, that's fine. But I'm gonna do like cute snacks, like cupcakes and a hamburger, maybe some cookies, okay? But you don't have to do that, all right? I am gonna continue this line down because I did it where the outline of the mouth is, okay? And then in here, I'm gonna draw some things. Now, I'm gonna draw a couple and let you see them, and then I'm gonna let you guys draw on your own, okay? So if I wanted to draw, let's say a cupcake, I would do my cupcake top, a wavy line, maybe a little cherry up here, okay? And then maybe when I color it, I could give it some sprinkles. And then there's the cupcake thing. Now we're doing the face, the mouth first, okay? And we're gonna get it drawn and colored so that when we go to work on the shark, this is already done. And this is why, okay? You can see it goes through the paper. So if we do the shark first and you have these big papers, then you're gonna be getting stuff all over your shark, okay? So if you wanna do, let's say a cheeseburger, you draw the top bun, and you can do some little sesames on it. And then I might do some lettuce, and that'll be green, right, when I color it. Maybe my hamburger patty. Maybe some cheese slices. Okay, you can do some little pickles down here. And then maybe the lower burger bun. Okay, so there's my hamburger. And when I color, it'll look more cheeseburger-like, right? Maybe we could do some cookies, like he's the Cookie Monster. Like chocolate chip cookies, right? There's a lot of things you could do. You could do ice cream cones, you could do snow cones, you could do popsicles. Ooh, I think I'm gonna do a popsicle right here. popsicle would be easy, wouldn't it? There, it's melting, okay? And then you can do other things too, like maybe little candies. Okay, you want to fill your space. I don't want to just see 3 little tiny little things drawn into the middle. We're trying to fill our space, and then also remember we're keeping it all on the inside so that when we close it, people think it's just a shark. And then when you open it, he's having a snack attack, okay? So you're gonna draw everything that you want and then trace it in Sharpie. And then we're gonna color it with our markers, or if you really wanna color with something like oil pastels or crayons, we can do that too, okay? All right, so you do yours while I do mine. Okay, so now we're ready to work on our shark. Okay, if you're not done with this, that's okay. You can come back to this, all right? And what we'll do is, like, I'm not done with my gray. My gray had started to run out, okay? And before we glue it, we'll just have you finish it, okay? So you'll have time to finish this. So you may not be done with this yet, and that's okay, okay? But we're gonna draw a shark now. So you're gonna come up a little ways on each side, not half, right? There's half, that's too far. But you don't want it to be way down here. We're gonna come up maybe about 1/4 of the way, and you're gonna put a little like dot here and a little dot here. They don't have to be exactly the same, but you kind of want to think about it, okay? And then we're gonna find the middle kind of at the top here, and we're gonna bring it down a little bit. We're gonna put a little dot right there, okay? And that's gonna help us make the shark nose. Now we're gonna have the shark look really big because he's gonna be in the foreground, and then we'll draw just a little bit of ocean details around him, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw kind of like a little tiny nose at the top, and then I'm just gonna kind of bring it down like this. 1, and then 2. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? But there you go. All right, now on the sides, at about the same spot, we're gonna draw a circle for the eyes, okay? Because remember, the mouth is gonna go here. Isn't that cool? It's already looking good, isn't it? So the mouth is gonna go here. So we're gonna do eyes here and here. You can make them small, you can make them big. I'm just gonna go circle and circle. And we want you to draw this in pencil, so that way if you make a mistake, we can erase, okay? And then I want to draw a highlight in the eye with a small circle like this. And then when you get your Sharpie, you can fill that in. Because we're looking at the shark, and shark's eyes are on the sides, right? Okay. All right, so now I'm going to give him little nostrils up here, okay? And then we're going to do the top of the ocean, the wavy line. Now, if you want to draw some sky details up there, you can, like a teeny tiny boat or something. I would hope that that boat was tiny because it was way far away, or an island, but there's not much space up there, so I'm just gonna leave mine, okay? And I want to draw some little fish in here. Now, if you want to draw something other than a fish, that's okay. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with a teeny tiny circle and a little highlight, and another little circle that gets really close, okay? And then we're gonna draw a rainbow line over that, and then give it a little mouth, and give it a little line that goes like this. And then now all you have to do is draw his little tail. Maybe you wanna give him some little top fin, a little swimmy fin, whatever you want, okay? You could also draw little bubbles. This one maybe popped as it got close to the top, okay? So you can draw a fish. That's how you draw a fish. You can draw a fish going the other way. Rainbow. Okay. You could draw maybe like a jellyfish. What if I wanted to draw a little jellyfish? That'd be cute, right? Your jellyfish can have a little face too if you want it to. They don't really, but that's okay. All right, so you can draw things in your ocean around your shark that you think are cute and fun, okay? And then we're gonna color these in just a second. Okay, so I'm gonna use Magic Color to color my shark, all right? And Magic Color is where you color with marker and then you add a little water to it, okay? Now my gray was going out, but it still has quite a bit of color in there. So I'm gonna show you with the shark. So what I'm gonna do is color the shark first because I want him to dry, right? Before I put his mouth on him. I'm gonna do a little bit of color. I'm not gonna color all of him, I'm just kind of coloring his edges. And as you can see, like I said, the color is starting to go out, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'm going to take my paintbrush and my water, and I'm just gonna add water to it, and it'll grab the paint, the marker, and it'll kind of turn it into paint. Now I don't want to use too much, okay? I don't want to use too much water because we want this to dry so we can glue the mouths on there. And I'm going to leave the inside part here kind of white. Now if you want to color the whole thing with marker, or if you want to color the whole thing with crayons, we also have oil pastels, okay? You can color your choice. But if you want to do this, this is how it goes. You color a section and then you add the water. You cannot add the water and then color because it'll ruin the marker, okay? So I'm coloring and then watering. And the water will grab the color and spread out even more. There we go. Okay, and then I'm just gonna show you, it's still wet, but you can see how that'll look, okay? Isn't that gonna look cool? So I'm gonna let that dry and I'm gonna flip it. And while that's drying, again, I did the shark first because he's gonna be wet. I want him to dry as much as possible so we can put his mouth on there, okay? So now I can work on this stuff. And what I would do personally is I would do the water, maybe with like blues. And it's okay if you go straight through the bubbles. And I'm gonna come through and do a little bit of texture. And then I would color these guys, just color them. You could even color them with crayons and then do this part. Look, I just almost got into my jellyfish, that's okay. All right, so I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna come through with some teal. Nope, that's green. Oh, there it is. Okay, I don't have a turquoise, I just have a green, but blue and green kind of make turquoise. So I'm gonna do the blue and the green for the ocean. Okay. And then I'm gonna make my little fishies different colors too. And I'm just gonna color these in. I'm gonna try really hard not to get water on these when I do my ocean, okay? So I'm gonna color him in like this. Color him in like this. See how nice and bright these are gonna be? And then I can do the sky, whatever color I decide to. I'm gonna make this jellyfish pink. Okay. And then I'm gonna add the water. And what's nice about this is you get color everywhere, but you also get those really cool texture lines too, okay? So again, I'm gonna try to keep the water out of the shark. So I'm not going right up against the shark. I'm kind of leaving a white outline around him. I'm not gonna use too much water. And I'm gonna, when I get close to these little fishies, I'm gonna be really careful and try not to get into them because then the orange will come out and blend with the water, right? Okay, so you can do your ocean, you can do your shark, All right, you can do all of that, and you can do your sky. I'm gonna do my sky in a minute, and you'll see what I did, but. All right, and then you do a section, and then you add your water, and then you do a section and add your water. Okay, so here's mine. I just did blue at the top, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come around and we're gonna help you glue this down. Again, the only reason we're doing this part is because we don't wanna use too much glue, and we wanna make sure they get put on going the right direction, okay? So we're gonna put just a little bit of glue on it, and then we're gonna glue it right down here towards the bottom and middle. Once he's got his lower mouth kind of dry. And then I want you to let it dry at your table for a few minutes, hopefully, so that we can get pictures of your snack attack. And look, mine even says snack attack, okay? I'm really excited about these. I know you guys are gonna like them a lot, and they turn out really cool and fun, and you will get to be really creative with them. So can't wait to see them.